what time it is. I got more Aliexpress clones, because I'm always buying these. I am always buying these Aliexpress clones. And this time around, I got some 3 3/4 inch ones. Now there was, oh wow, that was scary. There was one that I did not order yet. You may think, why did you not order that yet? And I'll just tell you, I didn't see it on the page when I ordered it. I think they might have like posted it like right after or something. Not quite sure. How do we get this open? I'm struggling. It'd help if I cut all of the tape. That would definitely help. I always find it funny how they actually like write the figures that I get on the side every time they do that. Oh, I thought I got all the tape. Oh, geez, life is pain. Life is pain. All right, so we got 3 figures in here, and I'm very interested to see how these turned out. So we're gonna open one at a time. And first up, we have a 187th like sniper, I guess is what they call it. Yeah, it's like a Recon Trooper. It's a Bark Trooper. That's 187th-ified. Yeah, this looks really, really cool. Now, they did have one version with the binoculars and one without. I opted to get the one with because it just looks a lot cooler to me. Still has the same removable helmet. Still using the same Vintage Collection body, it looks like. Still using the same old Vintage Collection hands, which is very annoying. But hey, what can you do? Yeah, still has the exact same feel that all of these have had. The exact same feel. Does it have the same smell as well? Oh. You think I over-exaggerate that, but no, it genuinely just smells rank every time. One thing I am happy about is that they do actually have the shoulder pad on these. I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, this is cool. This is definitely a cool addition to my 187th collection. Now, when it comes to Aliexpress sculpts, this isn't anything new. Like, we've seen the Bark Troopers already. But, oh my gosh, I hate those old TVC hands. They're the worst. You gotta, like, spread the fingers if you're gonna have any hope of these guys holding these weapons. Why do they use these old hands? Gosh, all this time and they still haven't changed it. Well, anyways, like I was saying, there's nothing new, like, sculpt-wise on this guy that we haven't already seen from these Aliexpress clones. But it's still really cool. I'm still definitely vibing with this. It's kind of funny how his visor's like shadowing his helmet a lot with how I have my lighting set up. But yeah, he's a very, very cool looking trooper. Definitely something that I'm happy to have in my 3 3/4 inch collection. And if I decide I don't want these on, I can just untab it. And I can live with the holes on the side of the helmet. I'm not a Lego clone fan. I'm not going to flip out. But to be fair, these are like placed more sensibly than they are on the Lego one. I am noticing the paint just looks a little smudgy. Like there's a little bit of like a white speck on the chest, and on the helmet it just looks a little smudgy. I can't really describe it, but yeah, it's not the best paint job in the world, but it's a little knockoff. I do have to point out these originally were cheaper than actual like TVC prices, but now you will be paying straight up a retail Vintage Collection price for these. At least. Yeah, these cost like 18, 19 bucks each. Really frustrating. What can you do? That's just, you know, the way this world is going right now. Toys are getting way too expensive to really sustain at this point. If it wasn't for my YouTube channel, I know I wouldn't be able to buy everything I buy. Like with these, I am an Aliexpress affiliate. You can use my link down below, and it helps out the channel. Reasons like that are why I get to buy these still. Reasons like that. Alright, next up, let's change things up, because Aliexpress has debuted their 3 3/4 inch Airborne Clone Trooper. And I did not buy this particular design in the 6 inch line, but I figured I would go ahead and buy it in the 3 3/4 inch line. It's a Shock Trooper Airborne. Very, very interesting. Does he have a removable helmet? He does. And that head looks a little smaller. Am I mistaken? Is that a smaller head? Here, I'm going to bring this in for comparison. Oh yeah, it's a smaller head. They gave him a smaller head sculpt to fit in the Airborne helmet. Because honestly, I'm not going to lie, the Airborne helmet is just so oddly shaped. Like, how does a head really fit in that? Doesn't really make too much sense in the scheme of how the world actually works. But honestly, this is looking pretty cool. He does have his satchel, which is appreciated. Doesn't have a space for a pistol in there anymore, not like the old school ones. Probably be easier if we have the satchel placed right there. I'm noticing, like, this is kind of getting in the way of the head. like this strap right there. Like it's kind of getting in the way of the helmet. That's pretty typical with shock troopers. Well, not shock troopers, airborne troopers. Sorry, my brain is like farting here because this is an airborne shock trooper. This is something we've never really seen before. And yeah, it's pretty neat. Seeing as how this design, you know, exists in the 6-inch and the 3 3/4 inch, I think really demonstrates how there is a link between whoever makes a 6-inch and whoever makes the 3 3/4 inch. There's got to be some sort of link. But for all I know, this was like a fan design that they stole or something. I do think it's a decent design. I think it translates a little better in the 3 3/4 inch figure than the 6-inch figure. I think there's a little bit too much red, like, around the helmet. Like, it's a bit too much. Like, it's not, obviously he's purple, but you can see for like a normal shock trooper design, it's just on the chin. It's just on the chin there. So I think if the red was just kind of like a triangle right there, and the rest was white with like those shock stripes on the side, it would look a little bit better. But it's still a neat design. You know, it's something I've never really had, and adding it to my 3 3/4 inch collection is honestly really cool. Articulation's the same. I'm not going to go over that again. Seems like he still has the same TVC hands, like the old school vintage collection clone hands, which, ugh. But hey, he does have a little bit of new sculpting. He's got this, like strap on his arm, which actually is a separate floating piece, which is pretty impressive. And he has a new shoulder pad with like the ammo belt. And yeah, he's got the airborne straps, the airborne pouches. This is a really nice airborne clone trooper. And yeah, it's the 212th one that I didn't realize was in stock. Don't worry, I'll get it. You'll see it in the next 3 3/4 inch Aliexpress clone video. I will get the 212th one. Don't worry, I just didn't get it today. But I did get another airborne trooper. I've got a lot of the purple guys around because I got their commander. Yeah, this is honestly really nice to have, especially considering that my original 3 3/4 inch one is horribly yellowed. It's kind of refreshing to get him again in this scale. And yeah, you can see he's got the same new like helmet sculpt. I think the visor paint's okay. It's an okay job on the visor paint. I feel like it could be a little better. I think it turned out better on the shock trooper one. But you can see here like what they kind of did to translate the, you know, the little bit of purple like by the chin. It's kind of the same thing on the 212th one as well. Same removable helmet, and you can see the really itty bitty Tamora Morrison unpainted head underneath. I wonder how much they would charge if they actually painted the head. I feel like it wouldn't cost too much to paint the head, but it's just a cost-saving measure, I suppose. I think they originally like were gonna glue them down like how Hasbro was, but then they're like, nah, it's better off if we don't. But yeah, same articulation, same floaty arm strap. Very interestingly, I'm noticing these are not molded right. These should be kind of tucked in, but they're kind of just dangling down, so I might have to heat those up. I don't think they're an issue on my shock trooper one, but here, they're definitely a little too dangly down. Yeah, this is definitely cool. It's so cool to have the 187th back in the 3 3/4 inch range. Like, it's very, very cool. And I did grab the rest of my 187th squad because I do want to see how they're all looking right now. Here, let's make them left-handed because that's how these old school TVC hands are oddly designed. Now, granted, clones are ambidextrous, like they can hold guns with both hands, just like how Jango Fett dual wielded. But still, it's, you know, more usual to see clones wielding with their right hands. Might have been like military standard issue or something. But yeah, here is our 187th Airborne, looking cool. You can see what I mean about the strap right there. Looking very, very cool. All right, Shock Trooper buddy, you're going to have to leave the scene because we got to get our 187th squad together. Bruh. All right, so here is our commander right here, looking amazing, looking really cool. Here is our sharpshooter, looking very cool as well. Bringing in the only official member of our squad, the Galactic Marine, because mine is not yellowed. Standard 187th Trooper, looking cool. And the 187th ARF Trooper, which I genuinely enjoy the look of. And he's one of the few ones out of the AliExpress ones to actually have that two-tone purple that I really appreciate. Yeah, this is a really awesome squad. And the fact that 4 out of 5 of these are bootlegs, it again shows that, You know, Aliexpress is keeping clone collecting alive. Thank goodness the vintage collection ones are still an obtainable price point. I don't think as many people are going for these because 6-inch is all the hype nowadays, so they don't have the prices artificially jacked just to rip people off like how they do with the 6-inch ones. They're still expensive, though. Like, I know if they wanted to, they could sell these for like $5-6 each, and they would make a fortune. I would buy them by the bucket loads at that price. But at actual vintage collection retail price, I have to be very selective with what I get here, and that's why I don't get all of these. One more thing I wanted to do. Here is an official Airborne Trooper alongside of the Aliexpress ones. So you can see the official one, the helmet's a little bigger. I feel like the visor's painted a little bit better on the official, and I just overall prefer the helmet on the official one, even though I do acknowledge it is a very big helmet because it does actually accommodate a normal-sized head underneath, like that is how they did it on the original one. But it is very refreshing to see a new Airborne Trooper released. Even if it ain't official, it's nice to get it. And yes, before you ask, I do have the Hot Toys 212th Airborne. I'm just kind of waiting to open that. I just got Hot Toys Boss. I don't want to open 2 Hot Toys back to back like that. I feel like I'd be spoiling myself. Alrighty guys, there we go. There's another Aliexpress Clone Trooper video out of the way. We got ourselves some new Airborne clones. Very, very hyped about it. Definitely not the biggest fan of all of the Aliexpress Airborne designs they do. And this Shock Trooper Airborne, I don't really like it in the 6-inch size, but the 3 3/4-inch one, honestly, that might be my favorite figure out of these 3. Like, I don't know, something about this guy. He's vibing. I'm vibing with it. But overall, this is still an absolutely fantastic way to grow your Clone Trooper collection. I genuinely enjoy these, and they still keep my interest in Clone Trooper collecting alive, because Hasbro sure as shit is not doing that. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about these down in the comments below. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.